Jada and all the other 15 Dalmatians had 100 days to prepare for the show. During that 100 days, we socialized them with other dogs. We figured out what natural behavior that they like to do that we could transform to a behavior on stage. And we also had a socializer with an audience, a live band or orchestra, and a whole new set, and a whole bunch of people. So it was a challenge, but we used positive reinforcement for these guys. So we just reinforced with treats and love and toys, so whatever they preferred. And they love to do their behavior, so they were ready and willing to go. There are many factors that could spook a dog. They could hear a loud noise out on stage that they've never heard before. A person may be in a wrong spot. They could have stepped on something different. But if something like that would happen and hinder them to want to do their behavior, then we would just work through it. And we would show them that this isn't going to happen every time and just make it very positive for them. And then if that doesn't work, then we don't make them do it. This is a job that they are willing and able to do themselves, and we don't make them do anything they don't want to. During the performance, the 4 trainers are backstage, and we're just encouraging the dogs. We're their personal cheerleaders. So we're backstage. If you were back there, you'd hear us hooting and hollering for them and telling them they did a good job. If something was to happen, we would restart them. We always want to set our dogs up for success and encourage them to do it again. If they still didn't want to do it, then we would bring them in. We'd let them know that it was okay, and then we would use our training time after the show to try and work them through it.
Now, how long does it?
It all depends on the animal and the behavior to actually train, how long it takes to train for the performance. And then we've had animals that have what we call retired, where we adopt them out to families. After a couple years, I've also worked with dogs that have been with the shows for 15 years. It all depends on their personality. The dogs let us know when they're done. Or when they get older, we let them know when they're done. But then once they decide that it's time to retire, we have a whole adoption process. They fill out an application, we do home visits, and we get to check in on them whenever we want. These guys, we have 9 shelter dogs, and then the rest came from breeders that were looking for homes for their dogs, and they come from all over the U.S., from California to Virginia, from Florida, Texas, Ohio. So we went and auditioned over 300 dogs for this show. Jay, come here. Good girl. The dogs, they don't all know each other. But if they're on stage at the same time, we do socialize them so that they're not surprised by anything. We don't want any surprises out there. So they definitely are out there, and they know who's going to come out with them, and they're okay with those dogs. Most of our dogs come from shelters, so we don't know their backgrounds. We don't know who their parents were. On this show, we actually do have a mom and a son that we were able to get. So they recognize each other. They know who they are. Jada, where are you going? Come here.